Hey, Mary. Caleb is going on a business trip from today, right? Has he left already? Hey there, Linda. Yeah, that's right, he is. He has already left, actually. Not too long ago. Is there something that you wanted from him before you left? Or is something else up? I was just wondering when he would be coming back, that's all. I think he will be back in about a week or so. Oh, so I guess that means that you have a whole bunch of free time for a week then. Isn't that nice? Well, I wouldn't really say that. And why not? If Caleb isn't around, doesn't that mean that you have more time than you normally would? I mean, sure, in some way, but I still have my part-time job as normal as well. Plus, since he is out of the house, I was planning on doing a deep clean of the house since it's more difficult to do that when there's someone else around. So, I wouldn't really say that I'm just flush with free time. What are you talking about? You two live in an apartment, so it's not that big, and cleaning shouldn't really take that much of your time, right? Instead of that, there is another place that you should be cleaning instead. What do you mean? Where would that be? I'm talking about my house, of course. Since my husband died, I have had to look after this place all on my own. As my daughter-in-law, you should really come without me even asking and help me out, but you don't get it unless I say it straight out. Oh, I'm sorry about that. You really should be thinking more about what you could do to help me out, you know? I don't want to have to say it myself all of the time. I know that it's a bit last minute, but could you come round today to clean up for me? Today? You want me to come by today? It's still only around midday, so you still have plenty of time, right? There's a bunch of things that I want you to clean for me. Well, actually, I need to go somewhere to pick up a package that I bought in the evening. Yeah, but that's the evening. You still have plenty of time until then. Give them a call and change the time. Okay, sure, I will do that then. I will head over in a little bit. I also want you to cook some dinner for me while you're here as well. It's just been so hot recently that I struggle to have the energy to make anything for myself. So, can you stop in at the store on the way here and buy some ingredients? It would be best to make a brunch that will last me for the next few days, I think. So make sure to get enough food from the supermarket for that. Okay, then I will stop at the supermarket on the way too. Was there anything specific that you wanted? No, you can just buy something that you know how to cook. But you're still not doing what you're supposed to be as my daughter-in-law. I'll make sure to teach you exactly how you're supposed to act in the week before Caleb comes back. Mary, I'm eating the food that you cooked for me a few days ago, and I have to say the flavor is really lacking something. What is this? How did you even make the food taste like this in the first place? I have never had something so bad in my life. Oh, sorry about that, Linda. I tried to cook something that you gave me a recipe for before and cook it like you taught me to, but I guess it didn't work out as planned. I did my best, though. I don't want to hear excuses from you. You must not have listened to me properly when I was telling you how it was done. If you did it like I taught you, then it would have turned out much better than it did. I'll make sure to be more careful next time then, to make it more to your liking. I wonder if being careful as you say will even do anything at all. That doesn't seem to be the problem. At this point, I think it's more of an issue of talent than anything. You just don't have the knack for cooking, it seems. Really, I don't know how you have been making food like this for Caleb this whole time, and he hasn't said anything to you about it. Oh, well, I'm sorry that you think it's not up to standard. If you really are sorry, then instead of apologizing, you should just put in some more effort to get better at cooking. Also, It's already been about 4 days since you came to clean up my house for the first time. But you still haven't even finished cleaning the second floor. Why is it taking so long for you to do? Were you just pretending to clean but then slacking off while I wasn't looking or something? I haven't been slacking off at all. But I had to take everything down and put it outside to make it easier to clean and to clean the dust off of everything. Plus, I needed to clean the insides of all the drawers and check the boxes of clothes to make sure that there weren't any moths inside, eating all the clothes. It just takes a lot of time, no matter how fast I try to work. But there are only 2 rooms upstairs in the first place. It shouldn't take anyone that long to finish cleaning it. Why are you going so slowly? Well, just like you said before about it being too hot for you to want to cook, the rooms upstairs are boiling hot, and having to move furniture around and clean in that heat is making it really difficult for me. Won't you just let me turn on the air conditioner to make it a little easier for myself? Oh, here we go. You straight away want to find a way to make it easier. You know, there are people who work day in and day out in the scorching sun. Do you think they have any air conditioning to make it easy on themselves? Of course they don't. But you are out of the sun and inside the house, and you still can't work properly without complaining. Even if it's in the shade, the heat still makes me sluggish, and it's hard to do too much. That's just proof that you're always lazing around and aren't used to working. In any case, under no circumstances are you to turn on the air conditioner. I'm the one who is going to be having to pay the electricity bill, you know. And I don't want to be paying electricity that you used and not me. Linda, you know that more people get heat stroke from being inside hot rooms and not from the direct sun, right? Don't be so soft. I don't want to hear that from you. Anyway, tomorrow you don't have to worry about the second floor. You can weed the garden instead. If you're outside, then you shouldn't have any complaints then, right? But the weather forecast said that tomorrow is going to be one of the hottest days this year. You want me to be out there all day? Of course I do. My garden is pretty big and there are a bunch of weeds popping up all over the place. I even had some people commenting on it when I had them around a little while back, and it's only gotten worse since then. Really? Who said something like that? Well, it was my husband's brother, Steve. He doesn't live that far away and drives past sometimes, I guess. When he was around last time, he kept saying that I need to look after the yard more, or it will make the rest of the neighborhood look bad. My husband passed away, but his relatives still live nearby. You have no idea how frustrating that can be. If you have been doing your job properly and had come to help me before, then I wouldn't have had to hear complaints from other people. Okay, I understand. Then tomorrow I will focus on getting rid of all the weeds in the garden. Make sure you come early in the morning. You have a day off from your part-time job, don't you? Yeah, I do. I'll come by around 8 then. How is that? Well, since that's pretty early and I don't want to hear any loud noises from the morning, make sure you eat everything by hand. What? You mean I'm not allowed to use any tools to do it? Of course not. Weeds need to be taken out with the root or else they will just grow back straight away. You need to make sure that you pull out every last one from the root and make the garden look nice and presentable. Remember, I told you before that this is what you're supposed to do as my daughter-in-law. Time for you to learn how to really put your back into things. If you hadn't been slacking before, then you wouldn't have had to do so much work now. If you want me to accept you into this family properly, then you had better listen to what I tell you. Mary, where's my lunch? Why isn't it ready yet? Oh my God. I just looked outside too, and the yard is still a complete mess. You haven't finished the weeding at all. What do you think you're doing? And now you've just left all of the tools you were using and run off somewhere without finishing the job?
And what about you? Where the hell did you run off to? Where were you?
What? How dare you talk to me like that? It's none of your business what I was doing. Don't just slack off and leave to go somewhere else. Come back here right now and finish what you started.
Shut up. Mary just got taken to the hospital, you know.
What are you talking about? What's been up with you? This isn't how you're supposed to be talking to me.
Linda, this isn't Mary. This is Steve.
What? Steve? Why would you be on the phone now?
Yeah, exactly. It's Steve.
What are you talking about? Stop messing around, Mary. I won't believe what you say just because you're pretending to be Steve right now.
Enough of this already, Linda. Mary's in an ambulance being taken to the hospital right now. I left my phone at home, so I'm using hers instead.
Is this really Steve?
Yes, it is, like I said before. I just walked past your house not long ago and I saw Mary on the ground in the garden. She was passed out, so I called an ambulance and we're on our way to the hospital now.
Oh, is that so? I didn't realize that was what had happened. I was sure that she just ran off to try and get out of doing the gardening. I'm so sorry that Mary has caused you this trouble, Steve. She really can be a handful, that girl. I will go and meet you at the hospital then. Do you know where you are being taken?
No, there's no need for you to come. You have no use here. You should just stay there and finish the gardening off yourself. It still needs doing, right?
Come on, stop with those kinds of jokes. It's over 100 degrees outside right now. I can't be in the garden pulling out weeds in this kind of heat. It's impossible.
So you're okay with making Mary do it for you in the sun, but you can't do it yourself?
She said that she could do it, so I asked her for help. She basically volunteered to do it. And there is a big difference in our ages as well. She is much younger than me, so it's not as hard for her as it is for me. Recently, my lower back has really been causing me a lot of trouble, you know?
Since I'm using Mary's phone, I saw the messages from before that you were sending her as well. Don't lie to me and tell me that she offered or said that she would do it for you.
Listen, Steve, Mary is a complete good-for-nothing. So I thought I would have her to do some work and cure her of her laziness. That's all. If anything, this is being kind to her. I'm helping her grow as a person.
Mary is a good-for-nothing? She always helps people whenever they need it. She even helped me with the spring cleaning before. And when my daughter gave birth, she was always around, helping her around the house and going to the shops for her as well. Plus, when you hurt your back and no one could take you to the doctors, Mary was the one who came and drove you there and back from your appointment. What about all that makes her good for nothing? I can't see that at all.
No, she's just really good at seeming like she is a nice person, but it's all just an act to trick people into being on her side.
If that was the truth, she wouldn't have put herself through the pain of weeding in this damn heat. And last time I gave you some money so that you could hire someone to clean up the garden for you, didn't I? Where did that go? Why is Mary doing it instead?
That's only because she said that she wanted to do a little work outside, that's all.
There isn't a single message like that in your text history at all. But whatever, let's leave it at that for now. Once Mary is feeling better, then we can all discuss this together.
Discuss it together? What do we need to discuss?
Ever since my brother died, I've tried to help you out when I could, since I live pretty close. I even left you money as well for certain things. You're still part of the family, even though my brother has passed away. That's why I try to still be around to help. But that seems to have been a mistake. If you have enough energy to harass your daughter-in-law, then you can look after the house and go out and work for yourself.
Hold on a second, Steve. You don't need to go that far. That will put me in a hard situation if you stop helping me out. I really don't have any money to be able to support myself without you.
My brother should have left enough behind for you to be just fine. If you don't have enough to get by, that just means that you have been wasteful up until now. Like I said, I always thought of you as family and wanted to help as much as I could, but I'm not going to do that anymore.
Steve, please, I'm sorry about what happened before. But can't you rethink your decision? I still really need your help to survive. I can't get by on my own.
Anymore. This has already been talked about and decided on. I'm not going to help you anymore. And just because I live nearby, I don't want you coming around to my place either. If you come to my house, I'm going to call the police on you and have them remove you for trespassing.
What? You're going to call the police on me? On family? That's going way too far, don't you think? You don't need to do something like that. We have gotten along so well up until now as well. Why would you even say that to me?
No, I have done my best to get along with you, but you have never done anything in return. Not for me or for anyone else in the family. You couldn't even come and help when my mom got really sick and needed someone to look after her at all. But even though you didn't do that, or have any relationship with her at all, you still tried to go after her inheritance when she died.
Well, she had always been really rude to me, so I didn't really want to show my face in front of her. That's a normal reaction considering the relationship I had with her.
All she did was try to give you some warnings about how you were spending your money, but you started complaining that she was harassing you and making your life a misery. You were the one who tried to make her look like the bad guy in the situation.
But I was young back then, so I made some mistakes because of that.
Neither I nor any other relatives have any intention of looking out for you anymore. I feel bad for my brother that I can't look after his wife now that he's gone, but I think I have done enough already.
Steve, come on, I am really sorry. I will make sure not to spend money the way I have been. So, please, isn't there a way that you could be convinced to keep sending me some money for my expenses?
Don't make me repeat myself. I hate doing that. I told you that this conversation was over, and I'm not going to keep helping you. It doesn't matter what you say to me, my decision is already final. And if you want to apologize, you're apologizing to the wrong person. You should be apologizing to Mary and not me. It seems as though you haven't even said a single word to her yet.
That's only because she ended up blocking my phone number, so I can't message her. Otherwise, I would have apologized to her already. You know that.
Then you should have gone through Caleb and asked him to apologize for you. There are other ways to do things if you really had the thought to do so.
But he also stopped replying to my messages and won't answer my phone calls either. I can't get through to both of them.
I'm not surprised about that either. The first things out of your mouth at the time were just complaints about Mary and not an apology. Of course no one will want to talk to you now because of that. You couldn't even admit that you did the wrong thing but tried immediately to pass the blame onto someone else. You should be ashamed of yourself. It's no wonder that even your own son wants nothing to do with you now.
Fine. I understand. Look, I won't ask you for help anymore, okay? But in exchange, will you help me improve things with Caleb and Mary again?
So that you can ask them to support you instead of me? Even now you're going to keep thinking only of yourself, aren't you?
Well, I think they earn enough to be able to do that. It won't be a big ask of them. Or maybe they will let me move in with them so that I don't have to worry about this big house.
Linda, you still don't understand the situation, do you? Caleb and Mary don't want anything to do with you ever again.
But the two of them are really kind, so I'm sure that they will do something if I ask them for it.
I really can't believe you. It's incredible that you can even think like that right now. But luckily for you, I'm actually with Mary right now, so I will put her on now.
Wait, what? You're with Mary? Hi, Linda. It's been a few days. Oh, Mary, it's so good to hear from you. I was trying to call you and Caleb, but I couldn't get through at all. I was so worried about you, you know? I'm so sorry that this all happened because I asked you to pull the weeds from my garden. I never thought that you would have passed out from the heat. Enough with the apologies. I don't need it from you. Just as Steve said earlier, I don't plan on having anything to do with you anymore. Don't say such sad things like that. We can get along like we used to, right? I know that I was wrong and I regret what I did. I was far too strict on you, and I promise that I won't ask you to do anything like this again. I know that you're a kind soul, so you will forgive me, won't you? No, actually, I won't. I won't forgive you. Wait, really? You're joking though, right? But I said that I won't be harsh on you anymore. Everything will be just fine. I think we should be able to get along even better than we did before. You're joking, right? I don't want to get along with you at all, you know. Why would I want that now? What's going on, Mary? This doesn't seem like your usual self. You're never like this usually. And what is my usual self then? What is that you're referring to? Is it the me who would listen to everything you told me to do no matter what it is? Or maybe the me who wanted you to accept me because you are Caleb's mother? Is that what you're talking about? Well, yeah, I guess it is. I want the two of us to get along again, so you will forgive me, won't you? No, I won't do anything of the sort, as I said already. You've put me through a lot, and in the end, I even fainted from the heat and the work you were making me do. But I finally realized I was wrong to just listen to everything just because you are Caleb's mom. I thought that we were a family, so I wanted to do whatever I could to help you out when you needed it. I did my best for you, but it was a mistake on my part to do that. But now Steve and Caleb are both telling me that I don't need to worry about that anymore. But listen, I won't act like I did before. I've had a complete change of heart, and of course I was thinking of accepting you into this family as well. I won't do anything mean to you anymore like before. Oh, so you did realize that what you were doing was wrong this entire time? Let me tell you that the person who has things like that done to them won't forget it. And I know that the only reason you're even apologizing to me now is because Steve said that he will cut his financial support to you. A fake apology like that isn't going to fool me. It's not a fake apology. I really regret it from the bottom of my heart. I don't think someone who is really sorry would actually say that. I have no expectations or anything from you anymore. The same goes for Caleb, Steve, and the rest of the family. You should just pretend like we don't exist and live on your own from now on. No, don't say that, Mary. Please, forgive me. I really am sorry. And if you forgive me, then I'm sure that everyone else will listen to me as well. We can all go back to how it was before. No, Caleb already decided himself that he doesn't want to have anything to do with you. You're the only one who wants to go back to how things were before anyway. He was also upset that I didn't tell him about any of this before as well. And he's right. I should have told him how you were treating me earlier. But it's too late to think about that now anyway. It was he who suggested cutting you off in the first place, you know. It wasn't my idea. He said that he can't think of anyone that abuses his wife as family. Please, don't abandon me like this, Mary. We don't need to take this so far. I just got a little ahead of myself and felt spoiled by your kindness. But I promise that I really will change from now on. Don't say things like you will cut me out of your lives. If you realize that you are taking advantage of my kindness, then don't keep trying to do it now. I have no reason to forgive you, and neither does anyone else. Good luck and goodbye. After that, Linda tried to come by our house to talk to us in person, but we ignored her and didn't let her in until she left. She then also tried to go around to Steve's house and some other relatives, but they did the same. Once, she even tried to break into Steve's house to steal money from him since he stopped giving her money, but he called the police on her. She was let off with a warning, but he told her that next time that she tried something like that, he would press charges, and so she stopped causing trouble for everyone after that. In the meantime, my husband and I moved house to somewhere that Linda doesn't know so that we could start a new life without her interfering. Now that she has no one to help her out, she has to rely only on her pension and she can barely get by on that, so it seems like she is not living a great life. We happened to drive past her house one time, and it looked as though it were completely abandoned, with no signs of life at all. However, some people who we know from the neighborhood said that they still see her from time to time at the supermarket, so I guess she is still alive and well. I did want to get along with Linda since she was part of the family, but I realize now that I shouldn't have put myself through so much to try and get her approval. I should have let Caleb know about how she was treating me sooner than I did. But having said that, I don't regret what happened, and we are better off now without her around. From now on, I just want to focus on the people in my life who meet me halfway and support me in times of need, and create a good life for myself, my husband, and any kids we might have in the future.
Hey Sandra, are you there? I just wanted to let you know that I told my mom the dates that we figured out for our wedding. And I showed her some of the pictures that we took when we went out to check out the venue.
Oh, okay, good to know. What did your mom think? Did she have anything to say?
Oh, you know how she is always. She just said that's nice and continued about her business.
I see. So basically we got nothing from that. Are you sure your mom approves of us getting married?
Sure she does. I mean, I know that if you think about it, I am pretty sure my mom is okay with this. Or at the very least, even if she isn't thrilled about it, I don't think that she's against it or anything, especially since before she was always bugging me about when I'd get married. So I don't actually think she'd complain to me now that I actually am.
Guess so, but I certainly get the impression that I'm not the kind of person she imagined marrying you.
I know that you think that, but what is it that you think my mom doesn't like about you?
I think it's because my family came from the country, and I guess your mom might think that I'm a hick or something like that.
I mean, you could be right about that, but I don't see anything wrong with that, and I actually really like your family. Both of your parents have been so nice and welcoming to me, and I'm really grateful for it. The only one to be complaining about any of this at all is my mom.
Oh, well, I really am glad that you like my parents that much. I know that both my parents are big fans of you as well. And I think that my family has plenty to offer and can't just be written off for where they come from. But I just wish that there was a good way to make your mom see all of this.
Well, I can try talking to her and really explaining just how good your family really is. But just know that no matter what she says, I'm still marrying you.
And that makes me really happy to have you say that, but I still wish that your mom wouldn't act like this. I mean, I'm about to marry her son, and it feels like she doesn't want me to.
I understand where you're coming from, but I think we need to give my mom time to get to know you better. Then she'll see how good you are for me and what a good couple we are. I know that she'll come around, so just be patient and focus on the wedding for now. You know, I still feel so lucky to have you in my life, Sandra. I mean, I really can't think of anyone else who I'd like to spend my life with. Not only that, but you really are just so beautiful. I could just spend all day staring into your big, gorgeous eyes.
What is all this about? Do you really like looking at me that much, Anthony?
Of course I do. I love you, and I really like your family as well. I've enjoyed the times that we've spent to visit with your parents. They are always eating the freshest foods straight from their garden and even send us home with some stuff. I mean, what could there even be to dislike about that? Especially when the quality of the food that they're giving us is the kind that we'd have to shell out extra for in a normal grocery store.
I have to say that I was pretty surprised by just how much you seemed to like being out there. But only in a good way. I was just happy that you weren't judging my family at all. After all, your mom isn't the only person to look down on me for where my family is from.
Well, I don't think that way in the slightest, but it is true that I don't have a single relative that lives the way that your parents do. So maybe that's why ever since I was little, I've dreamed about living on a big farm or ranch, just to be able to escape the hustle and bustle and noise of the city. When you come home, sound is so nice. But my mom is just the opposite. I think that back in her day, kids from the farm were bullied and looked down on more than our generation.
Well, you know that it's not all beautiful sunsets and fresh produce, right? I mean, out there's also lots of bugs and pests, and there's hardly anything to do in town, too.
I know, But it's not like you're bringing any of those negatives from the countryside with you when you visit my mom. But also, your brother is taking over the family farm anyways, right? Not only that, but your parents also said that when they retired, they were going to settle into a retirement home. Isn't that right?
That's what they said. They have a decent amount saved up over the years and said they didn't want to be a burden on us kids.
And I've tried explaining all that to my mom as well, but no matter how many times I try to tell her, she just doesn't seem to get it.
Well, I don't think that your mom's dislike for the country comes from any real logic or good reason. I think maybe she was just raised a different way and hasn't gotten over her biases.
I guess. But I think that we should let her get away with that just because she's older. But also at this point, I just hope that she won't make any trouble for us in the future. Especially considering that my mom is basically only going to have her pension to live off. So when she finally settles down, I think that the duty of taking care of her is going to fall on me. I mean, of course I have my sister as well, but as the eldest child, I think it'll mostly be my job.
Yeah, I guess that does make sense. But that would mean that I would also be taking care of her, right?
I mean, I certainly wouldn't hope that you would leave me to do it all by myself, but yes, I think that's the situation.
Of course not. I'd love to help out in any way that I can. I just hope that your mom and I can become closer before that happens.
Well, thanks again so much for talking to me about this. I'll think of what I can try to say to Mom, but I just don't know what to do these days.
I understand, but the most important thing for me right now is trying to become closer to her. I mean, I know that we'll all have a long time to do so since you and I are getting married, but still.
I know what you mean, and I really am sorry that this is even an issue in the first place, but I just hope that Mom actually liked the venue I showed her. I told her about how the catering company we were looking at had some of her favorite dishes, but she just gave me the same stoic response.
Yeah, that woman really is inscrutable, but hopefully with time we can see more eye to eye.
Hey there, Sandra. I just wanted to let you know that I tried talking to my mom.
Oh no, it doesn't sound like you're about to tell me very good news.
Well, it's actually about the day of the wedding. My mom wants me to go and pick up my grandparents and bring them here.
Wait, what? I thought you said that your sister was going to be doing that, right?
Yeah, I mean, she was supposed to, but I guess that her car broke down the other day, and it won't be repaired in time before the wedding.
Oh no, that really sucks. Tell her that I'm sorry that that happened, but I still don't get why you would have to go. I mean, it's literally your wedding day, and it's probably best if we just stick close to the venue, don't you think? Besides, will you even have the time to be able to go and get them?
Well, my mom was saying that the groom really doesn't have all that much of a role in the wedding until the very end, so I guess she really wants me to go and get my grandparents.
I can understand that, but it doesn't mean that there aren't things that you need to do to get ready for when I walk down the aisle. And what happens if you get caught in traffic while you're out? What would we do then?
I've been thinking about that as well, but my mom really insistent about this. She really said that she wanted me to spend more time with my grandparents and that I should be trying to make good final memories with them.
I mean, it's not that I don't respect the sentiment or anything, but shouldn't there be other memories that you try and make on the day of your wedding?
Sandra, you and I are absolutely on the same side with all of this, but I just couldn't turn down my mom. She just kept asking me over and over again.
I see. Well, I guess it sounds like you're going to pick up your grandparents then.
I really did try and tell my mom that it wouldn't work. I told her that I'd be too busy to do that, and then my mom told me that I was being ungrateful for all the good things that my grandparents did for me. She kept getting more angry and upset with me, and she kept making me feel bad about not doing it, that eventually I just folded.
Oh, wow. I'm really sorry to hear that, Anthony. I hope she wasn't too upset with you.
I mean, it had been a while since I saw her get worked up like that, I think. But man, it was more annoying than anything. It's that she refuses to accept that I'm an adult with my own life and responsibilities now. But I didn't want to tell her now and have her in a sour mood on the day of our wedding either. So anyways, I'm just sorry about all of this.
You don't have anything to apologize for. I mean, none of this is your fault anyways. And besides, you're right about it being a good idea to try and make sure your mom is happy the day of our wedding.
I just want the wedding to go smoothly and as little drama as possible. It's too important a day to let these petty gripes ruin it. But I just don't get it. I mean, I'm still living at home with her. So why are we going to the wedding separately in the first place? It just doesn't make any sense to me.
Well, I'm sure that your mom has her reasons, and it's not like you don't have 2 cars, so I guess it doesn't not make sense. But just please try and be quick about getting your grandparents and coming back, okay?
Of course, I would really hate for anything to delay you and I getting married. I promise that I'll do my best to not be late, okay?
And tell your parents that I'm sorry for all the rushing that they'll probably be doing on that day as well.
Well, I think that it's my mom who owes them an apology for deciding all of this, but I'm sure that it'll be fine.
I'm just glad that you guys have 2 cars to be dealing with all of this. I guess that means that you'll take the big car and I'll take the smaller one with your mom?
Sounds good, but I really am sorry for all this. I'm pretty upset at my mom for putting this in my lap at the last second. Our wedding should be a day where we only think of each other.
I know, but I'm sure that your mom has her reasons for this as well. And at the end of the day, it sounds like she's trying to bring the family closer together, so I can't fault that.
You really are too kind. Do you know that, Sandra? You don't deserve to have your wedding day messed up like this either. But man, my mom can get a bit scary when she gets angry about stuff like this.
It's okay. I think I've gotten used to the idea of her acting like this for now. Hello there, Anthony. I don't know if you've heard, but your wedding is canceled.
Mom, what are you talking about? What do you mean my wedding is canceled?
I know that Sandra isn't going to be showing up to the wedding. You see, she was in a car accident and now she can't even move. So I'm afraid that you two will just have to cancel your wedding, but how about we go out for a family lunch instead?
Hold on a second. Just what do you think you're doing, messaging me on a day like this? Who do you think you are?
Who do you think I am? I think that I'm your mother, so how about that?
Oh, really? Because I don't think of you as a mother at all. So how about that?
What in the world are you talking about, Anthony? What has gotten into you?
I mean, that I know that you messed with the car that Sandra was going to take. And anyone who would do that to my wife is no family member of mine.
I have no idea what you're talking about at all.
Oh, come on. I know that you sabotaged the car that Sandra took. She even told me that you said you'd just take a taxi to the venue at the last second. And now you pretend like nothing has happened? You just want to go out for a family lunch? Are you that opposed to me getting married?
Anthony, I'm sorry, but I really have no idea what's gotten into you or why you're so upset right now.
Oh, just give it a rest, Mom. I know that it was you that did it. Just be honest with me.
I am being honest with you, and I am telling you that I have no idea what you're talking about. Why should I be against you marrying Sandra? Oh, wait, that's right. It's because I know what's best for you, and I can tell you that it certainly isn't her.
Aha. So you do admit that you really are against us getting married, but you really don't know what you're talking about, because I'm the one that doesn't deserve Sandra. And the only person in our whole family who has a problem with her is you. But even so, I didn't think that you'd go so far as to try to sabotage a car that Sandra would drive on the street. You caused this accident.
Okay, this is just getting ridiculous. How can you accuse me of causing the accident? I wasn't the one behind the wheel. Do you have any proof of what you're saying? Hello there. I bet you weren't expecting to hear from me, Sandra. And yes, if you must know, I have plenty of evidence. I even have someone that you confessed thinking of this plan to. Wait, Sandra? How can this be? What's going on? You made it to the wedding? I had to call a taxi, but yes, I made it to my own wedding despite your best attempts to stop me. As for you, well, I think you can probably already imagine the kind of car trouble I was having before it stopped moving. But you do realize that you've committed a crime, right? Neither of you know what you're talking about at all. It wasn't like that. I didn't do anything. Look, I get that you really, really don't like me, but you didn't have to take things this far. Shut up! You don't get to tell me what to do! You think that a country hick like you can just waltz into my family? And just what about where I come from upsets you so much? How does my coming from the country even affect you? It affects me because I know that you joining my family means that your lousy hick parents are going to try and steal everything. You are literally the only person saying any of these things about my parents. I mean, even Anthony's grandparents say that they really like me and don't care at all about my background. Well, I don't care. I don't want a lousy daughter-in-law like you, got it? Besides, I know for a fact that my daughter hates you. No, you're not right about that either. Anthony's sister is actually completely supportive. Well, that can't be right. She talks bad about you all the time. She says that she can't stand the idea of you becoming her sister-in-law. Oh, she may have thought that, but that was only because you were giving her faulty information. But Anthony and I have made sure to clear up any misunderstandings you might have been causing. It was your sister, wasn't it? She was the one who told you about what I did to the car, didn't she?
That's right. Actually, she arrived about the same time that Sandra did to the wedding venue. She showed her some of the texts that you've been sending, talking about all your plans.
I don't believe it. Betrayed by my own child. I really thought that I could trust her with that.
Come on, did you really think that anyone would be okay with a plan like this? If you actually thought that anyone would back up this horrible behavior that you've been exhibiting, then that's on you. In fact, you complain so much about Sandra, but the fact is, you've never given her a fair chance.
No, you don't know what you're talking about. Can't you see that she's just fooling you? She doesn't have your best interests at heart. You don't know anything at all. I am your mother and I know best.
No, Mom. You're the one who's completely clueless about everything, and you certainly don't know what you're talking about when it comes to Sandra. All you do is focus on the fact that her family lives out in the country. But if anyone should be embarrassed about their families, then I'm the one that should be embarrassed to be related to you.
Anthony, how could you say that to your own mother? What is the matter with you?
I'm only telling you how I really feel. I mean, what if Sandra had seriously been injured? Thankfully, there wasn't any real accident. Sandra realized her car wasn't performing well, put on her hazards, and pulled over right away. But if she hadn't thought on her feet so quickly, she could have ended up hurt or dead. Is that what you wanted to happen to the woman I want to marry?
Of course not. That's not what I wanted to happen at all. I didn't know what might happen.
But that's just another lie. I've already seen the text, and you said that you don't care at all what happens to Sandra. You're nothing but a liar and a criminal, Mom.
But Sandra's safe, isn't she? I don't see what the big deal is if nothing actually happened to her.
If you think that you're going to get away with that just because Sandra wasn't hurt, you're dead wrong. I am never ever going to forgive you for this. Do you understand?
Please, son, I really don't think that there's any need to be so upset with me. I mean, you just got married. A newlywed husband shouldn't have anything to be mad about. Oh, can't we just forgive each other in the spirit of the day?
Oh, I don't think you need to worry about our wedding day anymore. After all, you won't be participating. Even though you would have been here as my mother-in-law.
Mother-in-law? Wait a second, is this Sandra?
That's right. Now about that little trap you tried to set for me. Well, I just have to say, I was shocked when I pieced it all together.
What do you mean? Oh, what's going on? What did you mean about me not participating in the wedding?
We talked to all the guests at the wedding here, and we agreed that it's best if you don't come. Even Anthony's grandparents agreed on that, so we're not going to let you show up, even if you do come. We've even told the staff to turn you away if you try and get in.
What are you talking about? You can't do this to me. You can't just keep me out of my own son's wedding.
Why? You never even wanted this wedding to take place in the first place, so why should we let you participate?
Oh, come on. You can't keep me away from this. This is my own son's wedding. You can't ban me from that.
Do you think that we're going to let you into a wedding where you tried to kill the bride? In fact, you should know that Anthony is never going to talk to you again. He has nothing but shame as far as you're concerned.
But, oh, this isn't fair. I was only trying to protect my family. I did it all for my family. How did it all come to this?
If you really can't understand why your own family wouldn't want anything to do with you after this, then maybe you really are too far gone. because you need to understand that you tore your own family apart. I've done nothing but try to befriend you, and you literally tried to kill me. So I am really not in the mood to hear any of your victimization coming from you after this. Neither Anthony nor I are ever going to forgive you.
You can't do this to me. You're not just going to leave me like this, right? Oh, please. My family is all that I have left. Who's going to take care of me now? Hello? Are you even reading these messages? Hello? After that, Anthony's mom didn't even bother trying to come to our wedding, and thanks to her absence, we were all able to have a much, much better wedding than had she been there. If only we had thought to ban her from the wedding in the first place. Of course, Anthony was really upset about what his mother had tried to do to me, and I know it hurt him to realize the kind of person she was. A few days later, we got messages from relatives of Anthony, all bearing words of encouragement and criticism for his mom. Many said they were going to keep their distance from Anthony's mother or cut her off entirely like we had done. Either way, she was left with very few relatives who were even willing to talk to her. Of course, I don't imagine that she's reflected on why what she did was wrong, but she certainly suffered for what she tried to do to me, and I do my best to not even think about her anymore. Anthony and I have been far too busy enjoying the married life. I thought this whole episode would be a good obstacle to our honeymoon phase, but if anything, the absence of Anthony's mom has only been a positive for us. We've even gotten closer with Anthony's sister, who was so sorry for believing all the lies that her mother had told her about me before discovering the truth. So I guess in the end, the only real loser was my would-be mother-in-law.
Hey Josh, I was just curious, where are you right now? Are you in the break room or something like that? No, I'm done with work, so I was gonna go and grab some drinks tonight, actually. But why do you ask about that, Mark? I mean, we're only co-workers. It's not like I'm your wife and I have to tell you where I am all the time. Wait, what? You're going to go out drinking? Are you serious? Don't you remember what we talked about this afternoon? I told you that I wanted you to stay a little late in the office so that I could talk to you about something. You said that you'd do it. Did you forget about that or something? Oh, that's right. I guess you did tell me that. Well, I'm sorry to say, but I completely forgot about that. Look, Josh, I really don't want to have to be the one to say this, but you do realize that I'm your boss, right? And there have been several times where you've said you understand my instructions and then either forget or ignore them. Oh, right. Well, I will say that you're right to want to try and pull rank on me like that. After all, everyone in the office knows that you only got to where you are through brown-nosing. Although I will say that I'm jealous that of all the people who started the same time we did at the company, you've climbed the highest. I really don't think that's the attitude you should be taking with this. But look, since you're already out of the office right now, just please make sure that this doesn't happen again, okay? Because I really don't know how much longer I'll be able to cover for you if you keep this up. Wait, what? What is that supposed to mean? What do you mean you're covering for me? I mean that you've really been doing poorly with your job performance, and people are starting to notice. Not only that, but you're going out drinking basically every night and forcing some of the guys to go out with you, and they're complaining. In fact, that's actually what I wanted to talk to you about when I asked you to stay late today. Hold on a second, you're telling me that those little peons who I grace with an invitation out are complaining about me? I want names. Just who is saying these kind of things about me, huh? I mean it, I really want to know who it is. Yeah, I'm sorry, but that is just not going to happen. I'm not going to name anyone. And I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with wanting to go out drinking now and then, but there's a line between doing that and trying to force your coworkers to go out with you by abusing your seniority. You do realize that this behavior of yours is even starting to affect their performances as well. I'm sorry, but I really have to disagree with you there. It's the duty of the underlings to go and drink with their superiors in the office. I mean, that's the key to getting a promotion in this world. It's how you got ahead as well, isn't it? So just who do you think you are talking down to me like this? You're not even making any sense at all. Do you know that? That isn't the issue here, Josh. I'm saying that you need to learn to take no for an answer if someone doesn't want to go drinking with you. It's not just about work, it's about just being an ethical person. So look, can you just do this for me? I really don't think that I'm asking much of you. But I am trying to warn you that we've been getting a lot of complaints at a time when your performance isn't so hot either. Just who's the one who's judging my performance, huh? Is it you? Because if so, then I think I know the real reason for any low marks I might be getting. And here you are trying to lecture me about lording my power and influence over others? You really need to wisen up if you think that I'm gonna take this. Look, Josh, I'm trying to give you a second chance here. Do you get that? Hell, it's not just a second chance, it's your third or fourth at this point, really. Do you not realize that your career could be really hurt if you keep on like this? I mean, out of all the people who we started at this company with, you and I used to be really close. But if you think that you can get away with acting like this all of the time, then there are gonna be some consequences for you. I think I'm starting to get it now. You didn't just climb up the ranks by going out drinking with the bosses, you put on this fake friendly face of yours. Well, unlike you, I don't want to have a career based on schmoozing. I'm not some glad hander like you. I want to get ahead in life on my own hard work. And I wouldn't be happy getting ahead in life through any other way, I'll have you know. Oh, just give me a break already, Josh. I mean, really, is that how you think I got ahead? I worked hard and I earned the promotions that I got. It really is just that simple. If you're jealous of what I've been able to accomplish in my career, then that's on you. Right, sure. Well, anyways, I've got beers that need drinking, so I guess that means I'll have to listen to your little lecture in person tomorrow. See you then. Hey, Josh, did you go home already? Are you not in the office anymore? And if I did, what is it to you, huh? Do you have something you want to say to me about it? Well, if you're already gone, then I suppose there's nothing we can do about that. But I still want you to try and explain to me just what it was that you were doing today. You want to know about what I was doing at work today, or are you talking about the fact that you realized you were being cheated on and are gonna be getting divorced? What I want to know is why you thought it was your business to tell the whole office that that was happening. I mean, really, just what were you hoping to accomplish with that, huh? I wasn't really trying to accomplish anything. I was just telling people some news that I'd heard. I'm sorry that you don't like that people know. It's not just some news. And besides, I don't remember saying a single thing to you at all about my divorce. But it's true, isn't it? I mean, even a few days ago, I noticed that you'd stopped wearing your wedding ring. All I did was bring it up with some of the guys in the office while we were out drinking. I guess the news travels fast in a place like this. Besides, it is true, right? I mean, you did get cheated on, and that's why you're getting a divorce now, isn't that right? I just thought it was interesting, so that's why I told people. I thought I told you that I wanted you to stop forcing the younger employees to go out drinking with you. And on top of that, you have no business discussing other people's private lives when they aren't there, or at all for that matter. I am trying to keep a modicum of decorum around the office, and you're making that very difficult. Well, I never said that I give a damn about what kind of silly rules you want to try and enforce around here, didn't I? And do you really think you could talk down to me like this after you got cheated on? I mean, even if you might be good at your job, it sounds like you weren't exactly good at keeping your family together now, does it? I hardly see how any of that concerns you in the slightest, Josh. Well, I don't know what you want me to say. You're the boss, and I just thought the people should know the kind of mental state that you're in right now. Of course, I can't really blame your wife for not wanting to be with you. After all, you really have got nothing in the looks department, especially compared to me. So I can't really say that I blame your wife for wanting to sleep around either. Look, Josh, I'm going to tell you this one last time. This is a personal matter that has nothing to do with you at all. And quite frankly, I don't think that you had a single good reason for sharing that information with people from the office. You know, it's because you have this big stick up your ass that you got cheated on, Mark. Your wife was probably just as sick of you trying to talk down to her as we all are of it here. Again, this really has nothing to do with you at all. How about you focus less on office gossip and more on doing your job correctly? Oh yeah, boss, I'll be sure and do that for you. But then again, you know that there are even rumors of you doing all kinds of underhanded things to get to where you are today, right? And people are starting to resent having such a sneaky, slimy boss lording his power over them. Correct me if I'm wrong, but you're the one spreading those rumors around, aren't you? Honestly, what are you trying to even do here, huh? I mean, I thought that we were at least pals who would want to support each other. Well, that was then and this is now. And besides, you're the one who thinks that you're better than the rest of us all because you got a few promotions. So consider this my way of getting back at you for how big your head has gotten. And that's really why you have such a big problem with me? I really don't even know what to do with you anymore. I mean, if you have this much time to scheme and cause mischief, why not just actually do some of your work instead? Well, maybe that's because unlike you, I'm not gonna be the type of businessman who sacrifices his family for his career. That's why you got cheated on in the first place, you know. I really don't even know what to say to you anymore. But I think that we're done here. Just do what you want. But do know that if you keep this kind of behavior up, I'm gonna have to do something about you. How about you just worry about yourself? I'm sure that you have plenty on your plate, so quit trying to boss me around all the time. You keep telling me to just focus on my work, but what if you took your own advice and quit bugging me all the time? Okay, fine then. I guess I'll just do that. Oh, and by the way, I wanted to mention to you that I'm going to be marrying my fiancée soon, so I know that you're probably still all sad about losing your wife, but I'll invite you to my wedding. Great. Thanks for that. I hope that you two are happy. Well, I won't be the one getting cheated on, that much I could tell you. But I'll see you tomorrow, boss. Hey, Mark, how have you been lately? I feel like it's been a while since I've heard you complain. Have you finally learned to mind your own business? You must be in quite the good mood to be messaging me out of the blue. Did something good happen to you? Well, let's just say that I heard through the grapevine that someone was gonna be getting demoted soon. I really didn't think that the rumors I spread about you would have been so effective, and yet here we are. Oh, is that what you wanted to talk about? Well, yes, I am going to have a meeting with the department head tomorrow. But I think that we're just gonna catch up on how current projects are doing, But you are more than welcome to imagine up any fantasies that you like. Oh, darn! And here I thought that you were really going to be getting demoted. I was really hoping that these rumors might have finally made the big boss realize that you weren't fit for the position that you're in now. Who knows, it might still happen, and then I'm sure that I'll be next in line once you're out of the way. So anyways, is that all you wanted to talk to me about? I can't imagine you just wanted to waste my time with that. Well, I also wanted to ask if you'd gotten the invitation to my wedding yet. Oh, yes, I got that the other day, actually. But I've been so busy that I haven't had a chance to look at it. What do you mean you haven't looked at it? What are you waiting for? I mean, you're probably at home already, aren't you? Just hurry up and open the invitation. I even put in a picture of the two of us. Sorry, I've just been too busy doing other things. I'll give it a look eventually. But you'll just have to wait. Wait a second, is this real? Are you really going to marry this person? Now, I know that you might be feeling a bit of jealousy right now. After all, I know that I'm gonna marry a real stunner. And I'm sure you realize that you're so ugly that you could never ever get someone as beautiful as the woman I'm about to marry. Although I'm also sure that your ex-wife was probably as ugly as you are. Yeah, I guess that you are gonna marry a really beautiful woman. But I just think that she might have a bit of a nasty personality, so I'd watch out if I were you. What are you talking about? How dare you say that about my fiancée? Just who do you think you are to say that, huh? Well, have I not shown you a picture of my ex-wife? Here, I'll send you one. It seems to me like the woman that you're gonna marry is actually my ex-wife. How about that? I mean, I know it's a small world and all, but wow, sometimes I still get surprised. Wait a second, just hold on there. Are you telling me that this woman is the same woman who cheated on and divorced you? Does that mean that you're trying to say I was the guy that your wife was cheating on you with? No, nothing like that. She was with another guy before you. But how long have you been together? You made it sound like a time when you talked about her in the office, so maybe you're getting played too. But, no, that can't be right. My fiancée can't be cheating on me. We're about to get married. She said that she wasn't seeing anyone else when we started dating. Well, I don't really know all the details, but I was pretty sure she stayed with that other guy after her and I divorced. So maybe she just took a little break from that guy before getting with you? Either way, it sounds like she was cheating on us both at the same time. Wait a second. I just remembered something. And don't bother trying to message me. I'll be busy. Of course. I just suggest that you look into this quickly. I know that your wedding is coming up really soon. Don't you talk to me like you know what I'm going through right now, okay? I'll be back soon. Hey, Josh, you really need to give this a rest. This is just getting ridiculous. I mean, just how many days are you gonna miss work without saying anything? Shut up! I don't care about work at all anymore. Don't you realize there are bigger things going on? You know, the least you could do is call into the office and say that you're not gonna come in. You've been causing everyone around here a lot of problems with your absences. This is all your fault. Why did you have to tell me all that stuff that you did the other day? I'm sorry, what exactly is my fault? I don't think that I'm quite following you there. How about you try starting from the top and explaining to me all that's going on with you right now? Well, it was just like you said. She really was cheating on me. And now, thanks to you, we're not going to be getting married anymore. We've been trying to talk for a few days, but I don't even know what to do. Well, hey, I really do feel you with the wedding. I have been in your shoes before. But I really don't think that any of this is my fault. And I don't think this has anything to do with work either. So if you thought your love life was an excuse to miss work, I'm afraid that I have some bad news for you. Quit messing around with me, man! This is all your fault because you told me all about the woman I was about to marry. I don't see how this could be anything but your fault at all. So the least you can do is take some responsibility. I'm sorry, but both you showing up to work and your love life are your responsibilities and your problems. So I really don't see what I even have to take responsibility for. I mean, if you had this much free time to do all this investigating into your fiancé, you should have called the office. But there you go again, looking down at everyone, just because you got a few promotions. I don't need you telling me what I should and shouldn't be doing. You know, if it weren't for you, then I'd probably be in your position right now. And then I could have found someone even better to date. So this is all your fault. All of it. Again, I respect your feelings and where you're coming from, but it just simply isn't my fault at all. I get that you're upset and are looking for someone to blame, but maybe you should start with yourself. Okay, really, just who do you think you are talking to me like that, huh? I'll tell you this now, you aren't gonna be at our company for much longer. And just what makes you think that's the case? Because you're gonna get demoted, and then I'm gonna be given your position. So you can try and play nice all you want. It won't change what I'll do to you once I have your position. I'll make you regret ever trying to interfere in my life. Oh, is that what you were talking about? Well, I'm sorry to disappoint, but I won't be getting demoted, and you won't be getting promoted either. What are you talking about? But you know about all the rumors that are being spread about you at work, right? How do you think you'll ever be able to recover from them? At the end of the day, all they are baseless rumors. And no one really thought much of them beyond that, if you must know. Besides, I've already explained to our boss that those rumors weren't anything that I've actually done, but just being spread by you. Of course, it took some time to gather the negative proof that I hadn't done what you said, but once I had it, it was all clear that you'd planned this. So then, you mean you were able to clear yourself from the rumors, and then the boss was able to see that I was the only one capable of spreading them? Is that what you're saying? Not only that, but he actually wants to talk to you in his office when he gets the chance to. Because now he knows that it wasn't just rumors about my wedding that you were spreading when you did that. But then, you mean I thought you were going to get demoted? Are you really not? I actually think that you're the one that's going to get demoted. I mean, you wasted so much work time just making up these dumb stories. Do you have any idea all the trouble that you've caused around here? Meanwhile, I really haven't been doing anything at all. Anyways, the big boss wants to see you bright and early tomorrow morning, or else you're fired. I don't have anything else to say to you beyond that, so take care. After that, Josh was called into the department supervisor's office. He was chastised for spreading rumors and wasting time before being fired for missing so many days of work without so much as a phone call. I thought he was just going to be demoted, but he really ended up losing his job. After he was gone, productivity in our department increased by about 50%. I really haven't thought much about Josh, his marital status, what he's doing for a living, or where he even is living since then. I just don't have that kind of time to waste. Thank you for watching. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to see more content like this.
Hey, Dad, are you there? Can you please get back to me when you get this message? Thank you.
Oh, hey, Rachel, what's up? Is everything okay?
It's Mom. She passed out. I don't know what's happened to her.
Wait, what? You mean your mom just fainted just like that? Is she sick or something?
I don't know. I don't think she's sick. But she hasn't been getting enough rest. She's been working too hard.
Working too hard? What do you mean by that? What's going on?
Even just a couple of days ago, Mom was taking a bath and was having trouble even standing up after that. After we got her out of the bath, she had to sit against the wall just to rest in order to be able to stand up.
Oh my gosh, that's horrible. Did you call an ambulance or take her to the doctor or something?
Yeah, I'm actually at the hospital with Mom right now, but the doctors say that we can go back home tomorrow.
I see. Well, I guess that means that they're not worried about her dying. What hospital are you at right now? I'll go over and check in on your mom too.
I'm sorry, Dad, but the visiting hours are already over for the day, so I don't think they will let you in even if you did come over here.
I get that the visiting hours might be over, but surely you can tell me the name of the hospital. I'm worried about your mom, and I like to be able to keep tabs on her if she's like this.
But the whole reason that she passed out was because of you, so I don't think that I should let you see her.
What do you mean it was my fault that your mom passed out?
Well, the only reason why I messaged you in the first place was because I had something that I wanted to say to you. You see, the money that you've been sending us every month just isn't enough, and that's why Mom has been having to work so hard. She hasn't been able to take any breaks at all, and now this has happened to her.
Is your mom the one saying that I'm not sending enough money every month? Because I think that I'm already sending you both quite a bit, if you ask me.
You really just don't understand how expensive raising a family is now that you're divorced, do you? Because it certainly takes a lot more than you're giving us.
I'm really sorry, Rachel. I had no idea that I was putting you all in such a position.
Well, you really need to try and think about others, you know. I mean, did you really think that we would be able to survive on what you were giving us? This is the whole reason why Mom and I ran away from you in the first place.
I really don't even know how to respond to that at all, Rachel. Besides, you guys just disappeared one day. It was like when I woke up and you both were just gone.
You just didn't notice us leave because you never cared about us at all. And you still don't care about us, which is why you give us so little money.
Honey, you don't actually think that I don't care about you and your mom, right? I know that we don't apart this time, but I still really do wish that we could be a family again.
Well, we don't want to go back to living with you, don't you get that? You were the one that drove us away in the first place.
I don't understand what's gotten into you. Are you going through puberty or something? You just never used to talk to me like this. What's got you so upset?
What's got me so upset? How about the fact that my mom is in the hospital because you drove her to this point? I am just so disappointed in you, Dad.
But, I mean, I had no idea that you two were struggling that much. I'm really, really sorry for not noticing faster. But if it really is about the money, then I can send money next month.
But you would have never sent us more money if I hadn't told you about what you were doing to Mom. You're a failure as a husband, and you're a failure as a father. No matter what happens, I'm glad that Mom and I decided not to live with you anymore.
Rachel, please don't say that. Maybe the three of us could try and do something fun over the weekend. How about the aquarium? Do you think you and your mom would like to do that with me?
Do you think I'm in middle school or something? Why do you think I would want to waste my time at the aquarium, and with you, no less? I don't even want to be seen in public with you.
How could you say that about your own father?
Look, if you want to give Mom and I the money to go and do that on our own, then go ahead and send the money. But I don't want to go out with you. You should just stop talking to us and only send us money. It's all you're good for anyways. We don't need to hear your thoughts. We just need your money.
Rachel, please. I really think that you're being unfair. I'm only trying to fix the things between us all.
Are you kidding me right now?
The truth is that I never wanted you and your mom to leave me. I still want to have you both in my life.
Well, that's your problem, so sort that out on your own, Dad.
Hey, Dad. How late are you going to be at work today? I would like to meet if you think that would be okay.
Wait, what? You want to meet me? I thought that you said you didn't even want to be seen in public with me. Is everything okay? Is this some kind of emergency or something like that?
Of course it's an emergency. I really need to talk to you about something.
Oh no. Don't tell me that your mom had another accident and had to go to the hospital. I've been sending more money just like you were saying I should.
I never asked you to do any of that. Don't go putting words into my mouth.
Wait, what? But you did. You told me that your mom fell because I wasn't sending enough money.
Yeah, well, I'm telling you that I didn't talk to you at all about you sending money at all. So again, stop putting words into my mouth.
I don't get what you mean. I mean, I have those texts from your number. Are you telling me that it wasn't you sending those?
That's exactly what I'm telling you. I didn't send those messages at all.
But then, if they were coming from your number, then who was really sending them?
Well, Mom took my phone away from me a couple months ago, so if anyone was messaging you from my number before now, it was probably my mom.
You're telling me that it was your mom sending me those messages that whole time?
Yeah, she keeps hiding my phone, and I haven't touched it in a long time. But I just found out, and that's why I'm reaching out to you. I had to wait until Mom was out of the house to even do this.
So then, you're telling me that you weren't just avoiding me, but you just couldn't talk to me?
That's right. And I guess that Mom was pretending to be me this whole time. But anything that she might have told you as me until now is just a lie.
Are you really sure that it was your mom doing something like that?
Of course! I mean, do you really think that I would say the kind of things that she was saying to you? You know that I could never talk to you like that, Dad.
Well, I really did think that it was weird for you to be acting that way. But I was just thinking that you might have been stressed. Or it was a puberty thing or something like that. I'm really sorry I didn't realize it wasn't you.
Well, it's okay as long as you realize that you're talking to the real me now. And don't get tricked by anyone pretending to be me again.
I'm sorry, and I promise to try not to let it happen again. But why would your mom do something like this?
It's because she wants money. I have to tell you all about what Mom has been up to for the past year, but you're not going to like it.
Okay, well, this sounds like something we should talk about in person. I finish work at 6. Can you meet me then?
Yeah, I should be free by 6. I'll be finishing up with my club at school.
Okay then, I'll see you then. I'll go and pick you up at school, so wait for me there after your club.
Hey, Dad, what is the matter with you? What do you think you're doing?
What do you mean? I have no idea what you're talking about, Rachel.
You do realize that you still haven't sent us any money at all for the month, right? Why are you always trying to get out of giving Mom money?
I'm sorry, I don't know what to say to that.
Well, you do realize that it's all your fault that Mom ended up in the hospital that last time, right? Are you trying to make that happen again? You know, this is why Mom and I hate you so much. You're always putting yourself before us, and you're even willing to hurt Mom.
And you think that either of you were ever going to see a cent from me again?
Excuse me? How could you say that? You're just horrible. You won't even listen to your own daughter anymore?
Daughter? What are you talking about? My daughter's sitting next to me right now. In fact, you should know that she's reading all these texts as well. I know that it's you, Vanessa. So do you care to explain to me just why it is you're impersonating your own daughter?
Wait, what? I don't understand. What's going on here?
That's exactly what I would like to know, Vanessa. So why don't you come clean and tell me?
Well, I mean, you weren't giving me enough money, so I had to try and think of a way to make you pay me more. I thought that if I pretended to be our daughter, that you might listen to her more than you would me, and then you would send me more money.
Oh yes, Rachel has already spelled out exactly what kind of scheme you've been running. But I know that the reason you think I'm not sending you enough money is because you're always spending it shopping. And buying booze and going to the casino and so many other wasteful ways.
No, that's right, not right. You don't know what you're talking about. It's not true. It's really not like that at all.
Oh, come on. I've been paying you $1,000 a month and you've just been using it to have fun. Rachel tells me that you won't even buy her new clothes. She told me she has to buy her clothes used, using money from her part-time job. I pay you money every month so that you can take care of our daughter and get her what she needs.
How dare you talk to me like that? You really think that you know what my daughter needs better than I do?
All I'm saying is that you pretend to be our daughter and try to scam me out of my money.
But I'm telling you that I didn't have a choice. You have no idea how stressful it is being a single mother. I never ever have any time for fun.
You know that we're not even officially divorced yet, right? Besides, you've been using this money all for yourself this whole time. So how can you say that your life is hard? Especially when you're neglecting our daughter like this. Did you know that Rachel wants to come back to me, right?
No, she can't do that. I won't let her go. You can't do this to me.
What do you mean? You did this to yourself when you left me. Were you really so unhappy with me?
Of course I was unhappy with you. You never did anything for us.
Oh, really? Because Rachel doesn't seem to agree with you at all about that. And I don't agree with that either. I would also be taking her out to places on my day off. Sure, I was busy with work, I won't deny that. But I never ignored my family because of it.
She's just a girl. She doesn't know what she's talking about at all.
Oh, really? So even though your own daughter is saying all this, you're still not going to believe her? And what about what she says about you? How you hardly spend any time at home. How you barely give her enough money to buy enough food for herself. I really can't blame Rachel for wanting to get as far from you as possible. How about before you start insulting my parenting skills, you work on your own?
You have no idea how hard I work to provide for our daughter. You don't know anything.
Oh, really? Because I hear that you're not even going to work anymore. So just what do you mean when you talk about how hard you're working?
Shut up. You don't know what you're talking about at all. You don't know anything, so just leave me alone.
Oh, I will leave you alone. You can trust me on that one. Especially now that Rachel is back with me. I'm going to be taking care of her from now on. Do you understand me?
I told you that I'm not going to let you get away with this. I won't let you take her away from me. You'll never get Rachel from me.
Oh, please. She's your own daughter and you're not even taking care of her. All you're doing is using her so that you can extort me for money that you use for yourself. And now that I know the truth, you'll never get her back.
How dare you say that I'm using my daughter? You are such an arrogant jerk. Do you know that?
Have you already forgotten that you literally were pretending to be Rachel to literally get money from me?
But you don't get it. I really did need more money, and I just thought that if I pretended to be her, that it would be the best way to do things.
I don't really care what you have to say for yourself. It doesn't change the fact that you were using her. Not only that, but you used the money that I thought I was giving at Rachel's behest all for yourself.
But you were the one saying that you wish we were still together. You were telling me that you wish we could all live together again.
Oh, trust me, I don't feel that way at all anymore. Now that I know I wasn't even saying that to Rachel, you can forget about that.
Well, I'm not going to divorce you, and I'm not going to hand over Rachel, so there.
Why do you even want Rachel? All you want to do with your life is shop, drink, and gamble. Do you really think that it's going to be difficult to convince a judge to give me custody at this point?
I thought I told you that you don't know what you're talking about. Rachel was lying to you. I know how to spend my money.
And why would Rachel even want to lie to me about that?
Because she's going through puberty. You know how teenagers are.
You know, I remember when I went through puberty when I was a teenager, and I don't know how I would handle having a mom like you.
A mom like me? And just what is that supposed to mean, huh?
I mean a con artist like you. You're the one who doesn't even know how to spend your money well, but you sure know how to trick people into paying you. I knew that I was already giving you plenty of money, and I knew there was no way it wasn't enough.
But it really wasn't enough. I was being honest when I said that to you. I really am working hard, and I just can't make it with the amount that you're giving me.
Okay then, if that's really true, then how about you tell me just what you were spending that money on every month?
Well, it's not like I'm keeping all my receipts or a careful budget or anything like that, so I can't tell you exactly what I spent it on.
Okay then, how about you tell me how it is that money I'm giving you isn't enough?
It isn't enough because I say that it isn't enough. I'm the one spending it all, so I should know.
If you can't even answer that question for me, then I don't know how I'm going to have this conversation with you. And if that's all you have to say, then Rachel's going to stay here with me. Also, I would hire a lawyer if I were you, because I'm going to be hiring one to move the divorce forward. Do you understand?
Please, don't do that. You can't do this to me. If you're really going to go through with this, then I'm going to call the police. Do you hear me?
What are you going to sue me for? We aren't divorced, and you don't have custody over Rachel. Why would the police arrest a father for taking his daughter in because she didn't want to stay with you? And you know what I think? I bet the police would agree with me that it's better for our daughter to stay with her preferred parent.
Hey, Mom, it's me, Rachel. I really do want to stay with Dad.
But I don't understand. Where is this coming from? Since when did you want to live with your dad? You really don't want to live with me anymore?
Mom, I really just can't see my life going in a good direction if I stayed there with you. And I just know that Dad is going to take better care of me than you are.
What? What do you mean? Are you really going to just forget about all the things that I've done for you? You ungrateful little ingrate.
Mom, what are you talking about? What have you ever done for me? I mean, I'm not saying that you haven't ever put any time into raising me, but I think the times that you've just caused me trouble has been way more frequent.
What are you talking about? Think of all the ways that we've had to get over hardships together.
Mom, please, you know that neither of us would have been able to make it this far if it wasn't for Dad's money. Especially since you never ever do any work, and you just spend all our money. You never cook for me, and you barely even give me enough money for food. Do you know how many days I had to rely on school lunches for my meals?
Oh, what are you talking about? We have plenty of food in the fridge.
Literally, half the foods in the fridge are rotten because you barely ever go and buy food. It's honestly not even a choice for me when it comes to choosing between you and Dad. Did you know that I don't even tell my friends about you because I'm so embarrassed about the kind of person you are? But now I finally managed to get away from you, and I won't ever have to put up with you again. So just sign the divorce papers and go live your life without me. It's what you've been doing this whole time anyways.
Wait, no, honey, please, don't do this to me. I'm going to be in serious trouble if you leave me. Please, Harold, Rachel, somebody answer me.
After that, Vanessa tried to fight the process, but in the end she signed the papers and I was able to take full custody of Rachel. There were times where I wanted to give up, but anytime I did, I thought of Rachel and knew that I couldn't let her down. Because Rachel did have to come and live with me, however. She had to move schools, but she was more than happy to leave since her mother-induced poverty made her a target of bullies. After moving schools, I heard that Vanessa was seen in the streets publicly drinking, calling out for Rachel to come back. That was the last we heard of her since Rachel and I decided to move to a new town to get away from Vanessa entirely. I know that this transition is going to bring a lot of changes to both mine and Rachel's lives, but right now, she's my #1 priority. I had no idea what she was going through while she was living with her mom, and I am not going to make that mistake again. I won't lose my daughter ever again. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to see more content like this.